Hey, what's up, y'all? In today's videos, we're upgrading my PC, and I will show you step by step how to install the new parts we're putting in it. Make sure to stay to the very end to see the finished product and to see how to set up the new BIOS on the new motherboard. Let's get to it. So this is my old PC. We have a Tough Gaming 1660 Super GPU. We have a MSI B450 motherboard, a AMD Ryzen 5 3.5 gigahertz CPU, and I have already put the 850 Corsair power supply on here. And yeah, we'll be upgrading all this except the RAM, which is Crucial Ballistic 3200 megahertz DDR4, the 8 times 2 kit, so 16 gigabytes CL16. So we will be upgrading pretty much all of this except the power supply. So let's get to it. This is the motherboard we're going to be upgrading to. It's the Strix Z690 gaming motherboard. I pretty much bought almost everything used except for the cooling system. I got this for $160 used on Amazon. So with this motherboard, you will have to use BIOS flashback to use a 13 gen Intel CPU. So to do that, you have to go online and download the new BIOS firmware and put it on a USB stick and update it. You can update it without the CPU. There's a lot of videos on YouTube how to do it. Now this is our motherboard. Extremely nice. It's gonna go well with the white case that I have. So you will want to open the lever, and that's where our new CPU will go. As you can tell, it is the Intel i5 13600K. And you should see a arrow right here, and we want to line that up with the arrow that's right here. It should just fall right in. Then you'll want to close this. Make sure this goes under the lever. And you want to push in. There you go. So now we're going to do our RAM. Since I'm not upgrading the RAM, I just took it out of my old PC. And we'll use the ones that I had before. So we want to open up the second one and the fourth one. And the RAM goes only one way. You want to pair the indent, and then you want to put it inside. And with equal force on both sides, you push in until it clicks. Like that. So you do that for both. There you go. One thing that I read about this motherboard is that a lot of RAM sticks do not pair with it. So if these RAM that I used to have don't go with it, I will have to buy new ones, and I will let y'all know that afterwards. Okay, so now we are going to put the M.2 in, which goes right here. So we'll open this up and then get back to you. Okay, so I actually decided that I'm going to put the M.2 right here because I'm going to get a 1 terabyte later on that I'm going to put right here. The good thing about this board is that it has a heat band right here to dissipate the heat from the M.2. So all you have to do is peel this out and then put it on top whenever you install the M.2, which we are going to do right now. So it goes this way, goes inside of here. All right, so now that it's in, we're going to put this back in, but we got to take this off first. There you go. It's back in like this. There you go. That's our RM.2 is installed. Okay, so since I'm going to be using the same case, I will just have to unplug everything from this PC and then take out this motherboard and put the new motherboard in. And I will get back to y'all after I unplug everything and take this motherboard out with the GPU also. Whenever you're done taking out the motherboard, don't forget to take out the I/O shield. And then we proceed to insert the new motherboard. You want to line it up there you go. And then you put the screws in, you screw it in. When I screw it in, I'll get back with y'all. We can now get started with putting the power to our board. So the 24 pin goes right here. There you go. And the CPU, there's two. They both go right here. All right, so now that we got the CPU cables plugged in and the power supply plugged in, the only power left is for our GPU, which we're gonna do later. Now we can do the case cables. Okay, so first off, we got our HD audio, which goes right here. The HD audio text, it's looking up. All right, so next cable is gonna be our USB cable, which will go right here, and it's this one. The hump goes this way in the middle slot right there, so you can tell. So we're gonna plug it in. All right, so now that it's plugged in, that's how it should look. Next, we can do the USB, which could either go here or here. Make sure you put the spot that has no pins in it facing down, so the USB side will face down. All right, so for our fan, we should look like this. The cable, we are putting it right here. The part facing down. There you go. So for our Zotac cable, we are going to place it right here. There you go. So for our system panel, for the HDD LED, this will go in the first and second of the bottom part. Just like that. Okay, so for the power LED, you want the positive on the top first one and then the negative on the second one. There goes the positive. And now in the second place, it should be the negative. And you want the words on the bottom, going on the bottom. There you go. Okay, so now the power switch is going right next to those with the words facing down. There you go. Then the reset switch will go right below the power. Just like that. And now we're done with the panel. All right, so now we're opening up the cooling. Let me open all this up and then we'll get back to you. All right, so this is all that comes with the AL. The pump, the 2 fans, and everything else you need. So first we're going to set up the fans in this position. Make sure that this is facing outward. This is facing inward. And set up make sure that the cable is going to your right. And the same with this one. And now what we gotta do is, with these, we gotta screw the fans in. Make sure you line it up right. I like to go the opposite way and then make like an X, so each side has the same pressure. I don't tighten it all the way just to make sure that they're all equally tightened at the end. All right, now we do the same with this one, and I'll get back to y'all. So now with the brackets, there's 2. We have one for Intel, and then one for AMD. So we have Intel. We gotta use Intel. We get the pump. We place the side that says Intel inward. And once it's in there, just twist to lock in place. There you go. On this step, we get the bracket that comes included with the cooler and place it in through the back right here. Now we get the bag that says LGA 1700, and we hold the back plate and screw these in. Holding the back plate. So we do all 4. There you go. All right, so we are going to be putting our cooler in like this. But before that, we want to disconnect this SATA cable because we are going to put the the cooler fan straight to the motherboard in the spot right here. In the gray CPU fan right here. So once you're done with that, we are going to put our thermal paste in the middle of our CPU. Around that much. Now put our cooler in like this. We're a thumb screw. We'll do one side. Okay, when one side is in, we want to do the spot right across. So once you've done that, you want to screw all of them and tightly secure them with the screwdriver. All right, so once you're done doing that, this comes with the fan splitter. So you want to connect each one of the fans, the cables from the fan. So it all becomes one. See. And you will want to route this through the back. Now, since we're placing the radiator on the top, I'm gonna take off the dust filter and align the radiator to where we want it to go. All right, so I ran into some trouble. I cannot put my my cooler up here due to my motherboard, so I have to put it in the front. And this is the best way to put it on. You want the hoses going through the top, and then through the front is where you you put all the screws in. All right, as you can see, through the front, we line it up. All right, and then you proceed to do it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now that this is done, you see all the 8 put on. You want to put the cover back on, and then the front back on. And now, right here, I routed the fan, these fans, over here to this spot right here. There you go. So now that's done. You don't pull it tight so you don't have too many cables showing. All right, so now we can put our GPU on. Okay, now for one of the best moments, the GPU. You want to make sure this right here is pushed down, and you want to go in. And there you go. You want to hear that pop? And it's in there. Now, we'll have to put the 2 screws right there so it can tightly be mounted. Okay, now we have the 2 screws in. We can put the power supply on our GPU. There you go. Okay, now we can try it on. All right, guys. First boot up. Let's see how it goes. Nice. After booting it up and going into the BIOS, I saw that the RAM that I had put, these 2 right here, only one of them was working on the first slot. So I had to get a new set of RAM, and these are working perfectly. These are the ones that I got. I got the T4s, DDR4, 32 gigs, 3600 megahertz, RGB edition. I'm about to show you all how they look. I gotta turn it on. They're amazing, but they're extremely expensive. All right, I'll show y'all the BIOS. All right, once you get into the BIOS, you can see everything here. And let me see, we should go to easy mode. You can see the fans that are connected, the temperature of your CPU, the motherboard temperature, and right here, so you can see we have the 2 RAMs. And you wanna enable XMP so they can run at their full potential. And that will be all, guys.